The EDUCAS WJEC specification asks us to consider how Aquinas' natural law would be applied to the ethical situation of voluntary euthanasia. Firstly, it is important to clarify some terminology. Voluntary euthanasia involves the deliberate killing of a terminally ill person who has chosen and clearly asked to be killed. It requires direct action to kill by another person, for example, a doctor, because the patient cannot do it themselves. This is illegal in the UK. Some people have been known to travel abroad to places like Dignitas in Switzerland, but what they receive is assisted dying. This is where a terminally ill person can perform the act themselves, but needs little help to do so. The terminally ill person must be able to voluntarily administer drugs that they are provided with for themselves. As in the case of abortion, it is important that when writing an essay, students do not get caught up in the descriptions of euthanasia or the unpacking of the actual moral dilemma at the expense of the question, which will ask for an application of the theory of natural law. Therefore, this film will demonstrate the application as you would be asked for in an essay question. Remember, this is demonstrating AO1 skills of knowledge and understanding. It is not asking you to consider whether the moral judgments are reasonable or correct in your view. Divine law suggests that voluntary euthanasia is morally evil. Exodus shows the 10 Commandments forbid killing, and in 2 Samuel 1:1-16 there is an account of a soldier who is punished by David for hastening the death of King Saul when he's mortally injured on the battlefield. Natural law also forbids killing. The primary precept to preserve life means that one can easily see secondary precepts would forbid euthanasia, even when it is voluntary. It would also forbid assisted dying, as the precept clearly states that life should be preserved. This is simple, but of course many would object to the ruling on the basis that it seems to show little compassion for the person who is terminally ill, whose death is certain, and who may be suffering physically or mentally from their situation. A long drawn-out death, or one in which one's dignity is lost, seems to be a good case for making an exception to the rule, or even ensuring that the rule allows people to choose the time and manner of death for themselves. However, such reasoning is not rector ratio, because it is based on things other than the act itself, such as consequences or situations. This leads us to an apparent good. It seems like it would be good to allow voluntary euthanasia because the consequences of not allowing it seem too terrible. A lesser evil seems to be the better option, but natural law says it is not.